So, good evening. It's Andy the Elder here, and we're kicking off tonight's stream of Satisfactory. This is going to be playing Update 8, which is, as it says, still an experimental build, so there may be glitches, there may be crashes, but they've fixed quite a lot of those by now, so we should be alright. I'm going to kick off with a new game. I'm going to play in the Northern Forests. Because the grassy fields are boring, everybody does that. I've played in the Rocky Desert too many times to make it interesting to me anymore, and the Dune Desert is just too much orange for me. So, Northern Forest. We'll give it a good, straightforward name. If I can type. Right, and I'm going to go into the advanced game settings just to make A, get them set up, and B, I want to enable flight mode. I'm not going to be using it very much, just for the occasional panoramic shot of the base, but that's the only advanced game setting I'm putting in. I'm not. All of these are for people who've already finished the game really and just want to build in creative mode essentially. So, just the flight mode, and let's kick the game off.
Attention Pioneer. The following instructional video is a summary of your impending duties as an exoplanetary pioneer for Fixit Incorporated. Fixit Pioneers have 3 cyclical assigned pillars of work to ultimately accomplish project assembly. Use provided blueprints to build the necessary buildings. Chart the planet and gather resources to provide desired results and improve your infrastructure. Make sure to report any unusual discoveries to R&D for analysis. Expand your factories, outposts, and pipelines through automation and augmentation. That's it. Get to work and be effective. Warning, planetfall imminent. Please remain seated during full procedure. Atmospheric entry in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Planetfall procedure initialized. Planetfall complete. Please ensure the integrity of your multi-purpose exploration suit is at 100%. Remember, efficiency first. Godspeed. Welcome to Planet Massage 2 ABB, your designated sector in the binary star system of Akija. I am Ada, also known as Artificial Directory and Assistant, tasked to support pioneers, such as you, in their mission. You are the third of your sector to survive planetfall. Congratulations. Note: objective-based introduction initialized. Welcome to onboarding.
I'm going to try not to talk
First
over.
objective. Please dismantle the drop pod. The resulting materials will be repurposed to construct a habitat and utility base, from now on referred to as the hub. Note: Fixit Incorporated is cost-effective and efficient. We do not waste.
Okay, as I was trying to say, I'm going to try not to talk over Ada.
Pigment could be harvested from these flower petals and turned into dye. A new research tree can now be accessed in the MAM.
But she does...
All important fixed data
crying
and
out loud.
communication is recorded and stored in the codex, including these steps.
But she is pretty chatty during the onboarding phase. Oh good, didn't get interrupted that time. Right. Now, what have we got here? Oh, geyser. That would be useful for geothermal power later on, but not for some considerable while yet.
Multiple edibles we have detected in your vicinity, which are within approved nutritional and medical categories as established by R&D. A new research tree can now be accessed in the MAM.
Okay. Didn't mean that kind of edible, although it was a mushroom. Now, I'm just grabbing up as much foliage as I can on the way to what we hope will probably be a useful site. I should probably open the codex. Like I said, press O. This is just a list of all the things we can currently make. As you can see, not very much so far. So press O again to get rid of that.
Second objective. Please ensure you have your Fixit Incorporated Xeno Zapper equipped before leaving the drop zone.
Fair enough.
Note,
So,
according to Fixit regulations, every pioneer should have access to a means of defense against extraterrestrial threats.
okay, so
Third objective. Please familiarize yourself with the resource scanner to find iron. Note, the acquisition of iron is considered essential in preparation for all future objectives.
So I got myself a teeny tiny taser. Fortunately, fighting off the wildlife is not a major part of the game. Where are we on cliff? So let's look for iron by holding V. Bing, there's some, and there's some over there as well. So let's head over that way. While getting down off this cliff. I'm collecting all of this stuff because it's going to be the fuel that powers the factory in the early stages. I'm hoping we can get through tier 1 and 2 and maybe even finish the first space elevator delivery tonight, but I'm not sure, so let's see how we go. And speaking of local wildlife, there we are, 3 or 4 jabs with a taser and he's done. Good.
The remains of this creature might shed light on how to increase chances of survival. A new research tree can now be accessed in the MAM.
So let's do like it says, hold E.
Fourth objective,
Get some
build the
ore.
hut. Note, to complete this objective, the resources salvaged from the drop pod will be consumed. Caution, ensure the hub is built on spacious open terrain close to the presence of iron sources. Failure to do so will likely result in non-optimal progress.
Fair enough. This looks like a nice wide open space. Well, it will be wide open once we've got all the shrubbery out of the way. So to build stuff, press Q to open your build menu, select what you want to build, and if it goes green, you're okay to build it. If it goes red, then there's some kind of obstruction. Currently me. So a bit further away, plonk it down, and there we go.
Congratulations, you have unlocked Hub Feature Manual Craft Bench. Hub Feature Hub Terminal. Fifth objective, complete Hub Upgrade 1. Note, the Craft Bench and Hub Terminal are essential for progression to the next objective.
Now, this is where we make everything we're going to need to make for the onboarding phase and the initial set of components to build the machines to start automating procedures. So it's pretty straightforward. Click on what you want to do and then tap spacebar. All you need to do is tap it once and it'll just run until you run out of ingredients. Used to be you had to hold the spacebar down. There are any number of pictures on Reddit of methods people had used to hold the mouse button or the spacebar, and it all became completely unnecessary at about update 6, I think. Now, if you have a big stack of iron ore in your inventory, you can tap spacebar once, go and make a cup of tea, and you'll have a big stack of ingots when you come back. So, that's converted my initial ore to ingots. Let's see what the hub terminal wants. Upgrade 1, it wants 10 iron rods. So back to the craft bench to make those iron rods. Tap spacebar, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That was easy. Drag them across. And huzzah, we have done the thing. And got a bit of framework.
Congratulations, you have unlocked Building Workshop, Equipment Portable Miner, Inventory Additional Slots, Hub Feature Personal Storage. Sixth objective, complete Hub Upgrade 2. Note, portable miners require no power and will mine a node until their inventory is full. Note, multiple portable miners can be used on a single node.
Do you mind, sir? I'm building here. Yes, off, go, shoot. Teeny little taser, let's see what it does. Yes, get out of it. Right, so next step we get the smelters, power lines, the ability to manipulate copper, scan for copper. Okay, so we need, if you look, these requirements are now in the top right hand corner. So that's enough rods. We haven't got enough plates. Have we got enough plates to build the workshop? Because if you look now, we've got another tab, production, and the new shiny thing, the equipment workshop, for which we need 6 iron plates. So it's back over here. And chisel a bit more out the ground. Call it that much. Come back, turn that into ingots. And then turn the ingots into plates, which should leave us enough to be able to build the workshop. Just turn it around. If you use the mouse wheel, you can scroll back and forth, spin it around to whatever you like, whichever direction you like. Let's plonk it down there, go across and interact with it. Okay, so we can build ourselves another taser if we really wanted to, but for now let's have some portable miners. Okay, I'm going to make about 4 of these because we're going to need limestone and copper. Oh, I left it for 5, but what the heck. Now these adorable little widgets, you can just, as long as you're aiming at the iron node, you can just left click, chuck it out. and watch it dig itself in. Let's chuck another one out while we're at it so we get ore more quickly. Now once it's up and running, you can just press E to interact with it, and then you can either grab the contents like that, or just pick the whole machine up, which will add the contents to your inventory as well. So I'll let that chuckle to itself for a minute. What do we need? Rods and plates. How many have we got? We've got rods and no plates at all. So grab your contents, grab your contents, and then let them chuckle away to themselves while we make some more ingots and finish the milestone off. Okay, there we go. So add those. I'd say send it off, but we haven't got the drop pod yet. So what do we got now?
Congratulations. You have unlocked Hub Feature, Biomass Burner. Scanner Feature, Copper. New buildings and recipes, which can be found in the Build menu and Craft bench respectively. 7th objective. Complete Hub Upgrade 3. Note. Connect buildings to a biomass burner for power. Note. Buildings such as the smelter require a recipe to be set. Advice. Automate the smelting process and use portable miners for optimal results.
Okay, let's see what we need for the next milestone. This is the one where we get limestone and concrete. So let's just run through the plate and rod requirements, then I'll go looking for copper. Right, so let's stick those in the bank. And so again, hold down V. This time we've now got a choice between iron and copper. So let's look for copper. Oh, there's some over there. We can see on the compass at the top. 230 odd meters away. The other ones are quite a lot further. So let's go for this one. Grab some more shrubbery on the way. Oh, there's somebody out there. Welcoming committee. Yes, 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 your pretty suit's getting battered, we know. So, there we are, a little bit of copper initially, and again, chuck out a miner. And it'll chunder away to itself. Now, you notice there it says copper ore brackets pure. There are 3 grades of mineral nodes. Impure, normal and pure. And each one provides double the resources of the previous one. So, the miner is currently grabbing 80 ore per minute. If it were on a normal node, that would be 40 ore per minute. If it were on an impure node, it would be 20 ore per minute. So, not spectacular. Now, we only need 20 wire for this stage, so that would be enough ore. Again, just leave the miner there, chuckling away to itself, while we dash back to the hub. let's go into this side of the craft bench. Right. So let the craft bench do its thing. Now you'll notice once I started making wire, cable popped up on the list as well, which I will be needing to make some of because it's cable that connects all the machinery together, supplies power to it. But for now, let's get the next milestone finished. And away it goes. What do we got? Oh, they fitted out the office.
Congratulations, you have unlocked Scanner Feature, Limestone. New buildings and recipes, which can be found in the Build menu and Craft bench respectively. 8th objective, complete Hub Upgrade 4. Note, use power poles to expand the power network for optimal results.
Okay, so upgrade 4 gives us belts and poles, and we also need concrete. So let's make that 20 cable first, as well as, okay, we haven't got enough to make 70 plates yet, but 75 plates rather. So let's just refill up the bag, and while we're here, let's go see. Oh, now we've got limestone as well. So there's a couple over there. Let's go and have a look. Oops, and the locals don't like me. Okay. Oh, his twin brother who's phasing through it. Okay. Stop it. Bog off. There we go. Right, now. Let's chomp on a berry or two, get some health back. I'll hang on to the rest because I'm going to need to analyse them in a minute. Ah, there we are, limestone. Again, it's a pure node, which is handy. So let you do your thing there. I should take some of this out and put it in the box, just to give you some space in my pockets. Now we need 10 concrete. So that ought to be enough. Let's go and make some concrete. Concrete bottom of the list, but we can't make any yet because there's no space in my pockets. So let's put this stuff that I'm not going to need for a bit away, and now can make the concrete and the other 50 plates. Right. Switch to plates, and then here we go. Right, there we go. So some of that, some of that, some of that, and that's upgrade 4. Nothing to say this time?
Congratulations.
Oh, there we go.
You have unlocked building, conveyor belts and poles. Inventory, additional slots. 9th objective, complete Hub Upgrade 5. Note, portable miners cannot be connected to conveyor belts. Advice, when planning the construction of buildings, note the placement of conveyor belts.
Alright, so update 5. Sorry, upgrade 5. Miners, automated miners, storage containers. Okay. So let's put the last of that away. Let's just check actually. Can I make constructors yet? Good. So I'm going to put one of these down and power it from the hub and get it turning all the foliage I've been picking up into biofuel. Or at least... Actually, can I make biofuel yet? Apparently not. Okay, so that's going to wait for an upgrade or two. Alright, in the meantime then, let's have another quick round, dashing back and forth, grabbing all the stuff. Oh, the copper was over there, wasn't it? But let's grab the concrete on the way past. Right, it's going to be quite a long burst of automated manufacture. So if you're watching the edit on YouTube, this will be a fast forward wipe. If not, then we're just going to have to take a couple of minutes to run through all this. Okay, that's all the iron. Switch to the copper. Then down to the limestone to make the concrete. You've probably noticed already, but the numbers in brackets here are what is currently available to be made from the components on hand. You can see as the amount of copper ingots goes down, the amount of wire available goes down, and the amount of cable we can make goes up because we're making more wire. So that's, well, we've got 180, so let's leave it at that. Switch to cable because we need 50 cable. And then last but not least, the rods. That'll do. So turn around. I think we were crafting all night. So stick rods, cable and concrete, and away we go. What do we got?
Congratulations, you have unlocked Building Miner Mark 1. Building Storage Container. Hub feature Additional Biomass Burner. 10th objective, complete hub upgrade 6. Note, there are no notes.
You're getting meta on me now, are you, Ada? Okay, so upgrade 6. Ah, there we go. There's the biomass. And the external biomass burners. So select that one, put what we can in, so we know what else we need to make, which is a bit more wire, or processing again, to get enough for the plates as well. There we go, 100 rods. Grand total of 26 plates we can make. Great. So again, let's fill up with what we can. So we've got all of the rods, we've got all the wire. We need iron plates. So let's run back over here, and this time I'm going to pick these up because I should have enough now to finish this update, this milestone, and then let's get on with building an actual automated processing line. Similarly over here we're going to pick up the miner, and might as well empty the copper one while we're at it. Right, so quickly dashing back to the hub. We should be able to achieve that objective. So add in the plates, add in the concrete, and there we go. Good grief.
Congratulations, you have unlocked building space elevator.
Oh, there it is.
Building biomass burner. Part biomass. Motivational message. Congratulations, you succeeded in every provided task. On behalf of Fixit Incorporated, I thank you for your current and future service. Additional knowledge. The hub terminal has been converted to give access to milestones there to ensure you progress along Fixit-approved protocols.
Right, so as you
Note,
saw...
future
Oh, come on.
developments should be aimed at constructing the space elevator and, as such, initiating project assembly. Good luck.
Are you done? Okay, so as you saw there was a slight visual glitch there as the milestone pod came down out of nowhere. So I'm just going to save and reload. And hopefully that should solve that visual glitch. There we go. So, where were we? Oh yes, picking a milestone. So it's essentially the same selection system. Now, instead of just being spoon-fed the next upgrade, we can choose what we want to do. So, foundations. Makes it much easier to lay out your base. I might leave it for a minute. I want to get some automation running. Logistics is tempting because the rates of production and the rate of consumption vary quite a lot, so you do need to have splitters. If your miner is producing more ore than your smelter can handle, you need multiple smelters and a splitter to feed the various smelters. I'll come back to that, I think. Field research, lots of useful stuff, but not for right now. So we're actually going to skip up to tier 2 for starters and get obstacle clearing, which gets me the chainsaw, so I can clear the foliage much quicker than picking each piece up individually. And it also gets me solid biofuel, which is even more efficient than the biomass, which I'm about to show you. So we're going to go for obstacle clearing. But before we do that, I'm going to need to start processing stuff into biomass. So to do that, I'm going to need a constructor. As you see, we have the materials listed down here. I don't have quite enough, so I'm going to need to make some cable. I need to make some reinforced iron plates as well. Now, I can use the plus symbol up here to add it to the to-do list, and that will pop me up a list and show me how many more components I need to make my current list. So I'm going to add to that list. I'm going to need 2 iron miners, a copper miner and a limestone miner, and then initially I'm going to need 2 iron smelters and a copper smelter, and a constructor. So 1 for the biomass, 2 for the concrete, 3 and 4 for iron, and 5 for copper. On top of which, let's add in some storage containers. I need 1 for each iron line, 1 for the copper line, 1 for the concrete line, and because of how much shrubbery I've got stashed in my pockets, I'm going to need 2 for the biomass production. So that gives me my list of requirements, which, as you can see, is quite long, and you can scroll down it. You just use the mouse wheel, scroll up and down, see what you've got. So we've got all the miners we need, but we don't have anything like what we need of the rest of it. So, if for starters, let's make a couple of reinforced iron plates. So we need 12 screws a plate, so make 24 screws quickly. Like that. What's the limitation there? Oh, plates. I haven't got enough iron plates. There we go. 2 reinforced iron plates. Also need some cable. Make a bit more cable because we're going to need to connect it up to the biomass burners. Actually, you can see that the amount of wire we need for the overall list is full, but we'll make some more wire anyway because we need to turn some of it into cable. So, there we go. Now, if we take this, we can just get things going by saying build a constructor. Here it is. That green line joining the cursor to the bottom left corner of the screen, it shows it currently is lined up with the center of the hub. If I just wave it off to the side a bit, you can see that it moves back and forth and it appears. If I'm close to the center line but not quite on it, I can hold down Control and it'll line it up automatically. So it's not only, you can also see it's turned slightly. If I just demonstrate there, so hold Control, it snaps it so it's perfectly in line with the hub. If we come down this end and look at that, see, they're nicely lined up. In fact, let's, I thought I had fly mode engaged. Anyway, so now we can go into the constructor, say convert biomass, let's say wood initially. Take the stack of wood I've built up and put it in there, and then take a power cable, which you'll see is on the hotbar at the bottom of the screen. So you just press the number above the symbol and you get that tool. Just wave it across till it clicks, and there we go. Now obviously it's not working yet, the light's still red because we haven't put any fuel in the burner. So let's take that stack of flower petals, which, as you see, it burns those at a rate of 12 petals per minute. So it's not terribly efficient. But there it is, chuntering away. Actually, let's just show you on the other burner. If I put some leaves in there, they're even worse. They go at 80 per minute. So if I would just use leaves, I'd burn through that in nothing flat. So what I'm doing is I'm going to turn it into biomass. Now I can just click on that, pull it out. If we go back to the empty burner, take the leaves out, put the biomass in, we only need 6 2/3 per minute of that. So you can see it's already the most efficient fuel we've got is this biomass. So I'm going to leave that chuntering its way through the wood while I make some more rods and plates. Okay, so now we can... Oh, has it come to a finish? No, it's just come to a halt because it's full. Biomass comes in stacks of 200, so all we need to do is pull that out into our inventory, and away it goes again. Now, we're going to start automating this by putting down a storage container at the front. And again, hold down Control, it'll line it up right. And a storage container at this end. And then again from the hotbar we can just choose conveyor belts. And there it goes, all that lovely biomass just going to trundle through and get stored in that container. And we're also going to put the belt at this end. Once it's finished processing the wood, I'll switch it over to leaves and we'll get on with that. In fact, might as well dump the leaves in there now. Now then. Let's look. Actually, I went a bit ambitious with that storage list. Let's just turn that down to 1 iron production line and see what the requirements are. Okay. So yeah, I was a little enthusiastic picking the portable miners up too early. Oh well. Alright, you can see we've got most of what we need now. I just need to dash across here for some limestone, make a little bit of concrete, and then we should be able to get our first actual production line running. Well, not counting the biomass. No, that's still going. Okay. What are we doing? Oh yeah, concrete. No, concrete. Dear God. Okay. let's pick those two up. And then we can set up the production line, which will start with a miner. And then we lead from that to a smelter. Use control again to line them up. And then down the line from the smelter we need a constructor. Use control to line it up again. And then down at the end we can, actually if you use the middle mouse button instead of the scroll wheel, you can just click on something and it'll copy whatever it is you're pointing at. So you can just quickly build another one, like so. Then we've run out of iron plates. Dagnammit. Right, so then we can put conveyor belt from there to there, conveyor belt from there to there, conveyor belt from there to there. I am going to put that ore from the manual miners, portable miners, into the machine just to get it going. Select iron ingots and put some more of it in there just to free my pockets up. And then downwind of that, we'll set this to iron plates because we are going to need a lot of those. All that remains now is connect it all together. So, select power line. You notice as you drag out a power line, if it's not clipping to another machine, it automatically sticks a power pole down. So that miner is now hooked up to the pole. We can then click on the pole, connect the smelter, click on the pole again, connect the constructor, and then your Mark 1 power poles can only have 4 wire connections. So that's the miner, the smelter, the constructor, and then the fourth one comes back over here. Which we can put it down, and then I'm going to disconnect the biomass converter for a second and instead connect it to this pole and connect this one to both biomass burners. Now that's going to run through those petals in a second, and you're full of biomass, so that's good for now. Now then, have you found lever? Yes, okay. It's only got 3 wood left and it needs 4 to process a batch, so we'll take those out and then change the recipe to leaves, which it will use quite happily because there's a little bit to process. Now similarly, once I got the power supply hooked up, you can see the miners up and running, the smelters up and running, constructors up and running, and the container is starting to fill with iron plates. Now basically we then repeat this process for iron rods, so let's just load up the to-do list again. So we need a miner to dig the stuff up, a smelter to make it into ingots, a constructor to make it into rods, and a container to stash it all in at the end. Now, as you can see, we've got quite a lot of that already. We just need some reinforced plates, so let's make a few more ingots. Use the ingots to make rods, use the rods to make screws, and use the screws to make reinforced plates. That's those 2. Now 6 more of those, so we need some more ingots. Should we do it the easy way? If we just make the rods, I can go and take the ingots, take the plates that we're missing out of there. Right, then we can climb up the side of the container, over the top, down the other side, and over to the other node, where again we go. Stick a miner down, stick a smelter downstream of it, stick a constructor downstream of that, and the container on the end. Then connect the belts. Set it to iron ingots, and this time we're going to set it to iron rods. And might as well put those in there to produce. Now, all we need now is to wire it all together. So, we're out of wire. Of course we are. So, where was I? Oh yes, putting power on this slot. So, power cable from there to create a pole, connect the smelter, connect the constructor. The fourth connection won't fit on that pole, and won't fit on that one either. So, let's put in temporary pole. Let's shrubbery out of the way so we can see what we're doing. And then disconnect the biomass again. This time connect to that one connect to that one. And now this line's running, that line's running. And the biomass is running as well. And all is happy in the state of Denmark. Now, how's the fuel situation doing? We're down to 2 petals. 1 petal. Will this trip it? Yes, that's the dread noise, the power grid is broken noise. Mostly it means you've run out of fuel somewhere, or you're using too much machinery for the available supply. Which just looks like a good moment to go into this, I guess. At the moment, the power production available is 20 megawatts, because that one's got fuel and this one hasn't. If I stick some biomass in there and reset the fuses, you'll see the grey line jumps right up to the top again. So we're back up to 40 megawatts potential production. If all the machinery is working at once, it will be using 30 megawatts. So that's fine. As long as we keep both bioburners full of fuel, we've got more production, we've got more capacity than we have consumption. This line is actually jagging up and down because behind it is the orange line. And that's because biomass burners are the only power generation systems in the game that only operate when they're being demanded on. That wasn't good English. Let's try that sentence again. At the moment, or at this point on the graph, the factory, such as it is using 21.2 megawatts. So the biomass burners are only producing 21.2 megawatts. Once we start getting into coal generation, they just output constantly all the time anyway. So we'll see the difference between the production line and the consumption line. But generally speaking, you want to keep this grey line above the blue line. because otherwise we get that nasty fuses broken noise, and it can be hell to restart. So let's see, that burner is pretty much full. This burner is about half full, so let's just top it up a little bit. That's still chuckling away to itself. Now you can see why it's pausing, because to operate at normal efficiency it requires 120 leaves to be put in per minute. Problem is, the Mark 1 conveyor belt only runs at 60 per minute. So at the moment I can't feed the leaves in fast enough to have the machine operating full time. This will change as we progress. For now, let's grab the contents of this container, because we're going to need plenty of iron plates. Let's grab the contents of this one, because we're going to need all the iron rods we can get our hands on. And I should probably go and get some more concrete while I'm at it. Let's see, can we build the concrete line yet? So for concrete we're going to need a miner. We don't need to smelt the concrete, we just go straight to constructors, so that's all we need for that. And we're going to need a container to stash it all in so we don't have to keep running over. Now we've got pretty much all of that already, we just need to make the reinforced iron plates. So back to the craft bench. Quick 24 screws, 2 reinforced plates, and that should be enough. Now we do need to run we'll take the cable with us this time. Just run and see how far we can extend this cable. Oh. It flashes red at the point where the cable is too long, so let's plonk the pole down there. Take another one, which will get us where we need to go, namely here. So, pick up that liner because it's in the way now. Then put another miner down. Haven't quite got enough concrete to build the miner. Because I used it up on the power poles. Okay, well there's no point running all the way back to the hub when I can build my own craft bench right here. And make some concrete quickly, like so. Get rid of the craft bench again. Right, there we go, Mark 1 miner. Angle it that way. Now a constructor, which we shall line up using control. And then the storage container, again line it up. Use the belts to connect them. And set it to concrete. Now, I happen to be having some limestone spare in my pocket, so I'll just stick those in there. Then connect the miner, connect the constructor, and away we go. Now, here we've got the opposite problem to the biomass constructor. That could only be supplied 60 items per minute because the belts were that fast, where it needed 120. In this case, we're still getting 60 out of the miner per minute, but we're only using 45 per minute. So, I'm going to come back to this in a bit and add another constructor once I've got the splitters and mergers unlocked. Because then it will be producing... The miner's actually producing 120 per minute. The belt can only cope with 60. And the constructor can only cope with 45. Now if I add another constructor, that means I can use 90 per minute. The belt can only supply 60. It's a balancing act. Once I get the Mark II belts, everything should be fine. But for now, that's chunkering away to itself. Let's grab the concrete it's made so far. And go back and work on the actual milestone requirements. which is a stack of cable, a stack of screws, and a stack of concrete. No, sorry, a fifth of a stack of concrete. This rate, I'm not going to need the chainsaw doing so much back and forth in. Oh well. Okay, while we're here and we're waiting for the copper to finish chuntering away, let's queue up the list. So we're going to need a miner for the copper, a smelter for the copper, and a constructor to turn the copper into wire, and a container to stash it all at the end. So again, we've got pretty much all of that, except the wire. We'll get a bit extra wire on that. And so we need a couple of reinforced iron plates. Okay, so pick him up again. Take the craft bench to pieces because it's in the way. Then miner, face it over this way. Smelter, line it up. Getting a bit precipitous here, so I'm just going to put the constructor down on the ground, but angle it over so the belts can connect fairly easily. Set you to copper, set you to wire, put a container on the end, belt it in. Then put that ore in there. Last but not least, power. And we should be able to reach across to the... maybe we won't make it in one go. Let's see how we go. Will it reach? Ah, not quite. Okay, so intermediate pole. Hook it up to that. And the grid goes down again. Let's have a look. Yeah, there we go. The line has just, as you can see, the blue line has just jumped way above the grey, so we're not producing enough power to match the potential output of all the machinery. So, back home we go. Actually, no, first, let's look, get the requirements. We're going to need an additional burner, for which we're going to need more wire. So I guess I'll have that all back out of there. haven't we? We've got plenty of cable. So let's add a biomass burner there. And then that one's full and that one's full. So let's replumb this. Have all of the power supplies connecting to one pole, and then that pole connecting to the rest of the factory, which we shall then grab 3 stacks of biomass. So put some biomass in there, put some biomass in there, put some biomass in there, and switch everything back on. And again, the grey line jumps back up to the top, which is where it ought to be. Blue line takes a jump because we switched the copper production on. And as ever, because it's all biomass burners, the production exactly matches the consumption, which is why you can't see the orange line. Right, that's chuckling away to itself. So let's go and get the concrete. See how much we've got. Good, got enough for the upgrade. Now we just need the screws. Alright, the screws and the rest of the cable. Just for the sake of empty pockets, let's just shift all those back over there. Okay, so we have 500 screws, 100 cable, 100 concrete, and now it's because it's the first of the proper milestones, we get the big red button. Boom! And we watch as the pod lifts off properly this time.
Efficiency of biomass burners. To aid in biofuel production, you are now capable of removing foliage that consists primarily of wood. Additionally, R&D inflated your pocket dimension.
Wow. I got the hub just right. The pod goes right past the edge of this big stone, whatever it is. Okay, while we're waiting for the pod to come back, we can select the next milestone, which I think is going to be splitters and mergers. Now that's fairly straightforward. We can't put any materials in it yet because, as we see, the pod is still up there somewhere. So let's have a look at the chainsaw while we're at it. So we can make a chainsaw. Well, we might be able to make a chainsaw in a bit as we get all the rest of the stuff together. So let's right click so we can add it to the to-do list. We're going to need 160 screws for the thing itself, plus another 60 odd to make the reinforced plates, so that's 220. Might have just enough. There we go, 5 reinforced plates. 3, 4, 5, there we go. Cable. Oh, that'll be the pod coming back. Gently, gently, gently. Ooh, nice landing.
Milestone exchange concluded. Fix-it freighter re-entry complete.
And now we can put those and those in there. Right, so we just need some rods for the chainsaw. Let's take the stack. Let's grab those while we're coming past. And yeah, that ought to do us. Okay. Here we have one chainsaw. Which of course doesn't run at the moment because we've got no fuel for it. So what we need to do for that is grab a little bit of biomass. Just on this early stage, let's scroll down and we can turn it now into solid biofuel. Now, I'm only going to build a little bit of this because I'm going to automate it as quickly as possible. So that's enough of that. Let's make a couple more plates. Right, and then now it can be dangerous to have a chainsaw in your hands, so I'm just going to press H to put it away in the holster. Actually, while we're running past, let's pick up and say, you see this field of flowers? I don't want to. And we can just pick up great swathes of foliage in one go, instead of picking it up piece by piece. Now I've done a bit more of that, let's put it away again. Go and see how much wire we've got. Well, I was going to say plenty, but it's not quite enough. Oh, there's a lizard doggo. Well, we'll leave him be. He's just ambling along. Alright, so what do we need? We need cable for the other constructor. That'll do it. Now if I then... Actually no, leave that there, then I want to build another constructor. So use the middle mouse button to copy what I'm pointing at. line it up, connect it with the belt, and then set it to solid biofuel. I can put that biomass in. We just need a power supply. Hang on, which pole's that? Doesn't matter, it works. So, now that'll take all this biomass that is still churning its way through and turn it into solid biofuel. So we just need another container to stash it all in. Now let's have a look at consumption rates. Now we looked at earlier and just worked out that biomass was the best we had because it was only consumed at 6 2/3 a minute. If I swap that out for solid biofuel, it goes down to 2 2/3 a minute, which is a significant improvement. So now that I've got that all set up, that should give me enough fuel to keep the factory running for a while. I'm just going to churn the wood through into biofuel because I can't be bothered setting up a separate line for wood at the moment. And put all that into that container there. Let's grab a little bit more for the chainsaw. Actually no, let's grab a little bit more and refill the other burners. And put that biomass in there as well. Now again, this is expecting 120 biomass per minute in when the belt can only supply 60. So we're going to do that, something about that at the next stage after I get the splitters and mergers. So we need another 113 rods. Only made 85. Okay, I'm going to steal all those ingots and make them by hand. Okay, oh, we have somebody in the chat. Hello. You're saying good morning, so where are you coming from? Ah, blimey. Well, welcome to the stream. I think you're actually the first viewer we've got. I know this is pretty slow because it's still phase 1. So if you'll bear with us, this is going to be a weekly stream. We were running for about 3 hours on a Saturday. No, not Saturday. What are we on? Monday? Yeah. So yeah, we'll be running for about 3 hours on a Monday night. If you want to tune back in next week and see what's going on. I mean, we're going to be here for another, what, hour and a half or so. What was I doing? Oh yes, stick some of that in there. Which 6 pure nodes? I didn't spot when you popped up. don't think we did. I think we hold the Grand National at a bank holiday weekend, but it's not for the purpose of the race. Okay, let's get that. That's got us splitters and mergers.
Milestone reached. Conveyor belts can now merge, split, and lift to increase the complexity and efficiency of your factory. We encourage you to consider more verticality when it comes to factory logistics to streamline short-range transportation. The productivity display will help you measure and improve the productivity of individual buildings to aid with optimization.
Okay, so let's add those to the old toolbar. So I can add stuff in if I need to, and let's do the usual rearranging, because I always like belts on one, lifts on two. Yeah? Awesome. Well, key thing I think is to remember, it is that. But it's you got to remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint. But it is an awful lot of fun once you get going. I'm getting mockery from the other side of the room. Okay, what was I doing? Good question, what was I doing? Pick another milestone. Let's get some foundations in and see what we're playing at. And while we're waiting for the pod to come back, let's get some supplies so I can build some more smelters and constructors and generally increase the rate of what we're doing. So, oops, that's what I wanted. So, I don't know if you've found the to-do list yet, but you can, the plus sign just pops you up a list on the on the right hand side there of what you need. What is it's like a shopping list basically. So I'm going to expand the iron line. I'm producing 120 per minute, but the smelter can only cope with 30, so I need another 3 smelters. I'm going to need 3 more constructors down the line, and we'll see what goes from there. So let's work with that for starters. I'm going to need more wire, aren't I? Which, oh, I can make a little bit more. Ouch. Gave it away to you. Is the younger sibling also interested in this style of thing? Because you can go multiplayer if you want to. Oh, there's the pod coming back. Where is it? Yeah, there it is. Okay. So what do we need? We need cable and some more plates. Makes over. Yeah, most of our kids are also more interested in the pew pew. I dabble a little bit in that stuff, but it's not really my cup of tea. Where are we? Oops, one more. Right, so let's get this done then. Shall we wait for the foundations? Let's wait for the foundations. because then it is going to be much, much easier to lay stuff out. Oh, good for him. So, concrete, plates, rods, and off it goes again.
Milestone reached. You have unlocked several structures aimed to provide the first needed to build basic factory infrastructure and improved overview. Building these will provide a grid for more advanced organizing and sectioning of your factory.
Yep. So what we're going to do is going to take down the miner and that belt and the smelter. In fact, let's take the whole line out just while we get the foundations in. And deal with the can't deal with the foliage, haven't got any fuel. Oh good lord. Oh no, I'll chainsaw out to deal with this foliage. So let's get rid of that. So, you say you've only been in the game a week or so. How far have you gotten? Yeah, I confess I do not know much about politics, especially Australian politics. Okay. So, back in the game for a sec. Underlying the map is a thing called the world grid, which basically allows you to snap your foundations to it by holding control. If you see, it's just shifted position. So I'm just waving it around like that, angling whatever direction I like. If I hold down control, it snaps to the grid. And now I can place another foundation over there, so I say snap that one to the grid, and now they will snap nice and neatly to each other with no gap. It's a slight height difference, but what the heck. Oh, what? You're a week in and you're up to bauxite already? Good lord. Took me ages to get that far. Okay. Well, these beginner tips you're probably already going to know then, aren't you? Alright, so we've got the basis of a platform. Let's put the miner back in. And that one, just for a change, is nearly aligned with the grid. Good. Okay, we don't need that one. And we go one wider. Fair enough. I don't... Well, this is, in effect, my time off, playing games of an evening. Right, so now let's put a smelter down and leave it lined up with the miner. And then we can put a splitter, oops, wrong bar, splitter in front of it. And then that's, oops, fall off the edge. So then we need another splitter to turn that, cut that in half. Again, we can use the green lines to make them line up. And then we belt everything together. And the power's died again. Oh, well, it's easy enough to fix. I'll do that in a second once I've finished with the belts. Right, now I think we get a vantage point from up on top of there. We can remember to add the power supply back to the toolbar. Two, three connections. One, two, three. And then connect that one. I've run out of wire. Of course we have. Oh yeah, everybody's is always spaghetti. First factory is always spaghetti. I'm generally, actually, I leave my first effort in a world, I leave it up and running, just chuntering away, producing the very, very basic goods, and then get more aesthetic later on. How am I going to do this? Well, we've got 60 output belts, so we'll put a merger on this one. And a merger on that one. Set them all to iron. Actually, use the copy paste, why not? Right, then we've got some iron left from when I took the line to pieces, so let's put those in there ready for when I get some power in there. Grab the power line. And see what's the matter over here. I figured. Okay, so you're empty, that's the problem. And we're still good. Excellent. Oh yeah, let's put a ramp on the side of this so I can actually get up there. Let's go and get some more concrete so I can actually get up there. Yeah, the some stuff you can blow up. Oh, sorry, you said you can blow up. It's the sort of bulbous tree things in the crater lakes that really annoy me. I can take most of them out because I generally put a decent sized coal plant up there. But there are these couple of trees I can't get rid of out of the lake, and they're absolute pain. Right. So we're making 120 ingots a minute here. Stick a constructor down. Lined up. One on the outside there. There and there. And then if we say set you to plates, that's 30. And you to plates, that's 30. And you to rods. Yeah, it's the bulb ones. You can't get rid of them. They're in the crater lakes as well, and you can't get rid of them there either. Come on, there we go. Now, the eagle-eyed members of the audience will have noticed the obvious flaw in this design, which is that I currently have 120 ore being produced, 120 ingots being created from the ore, but the belt can only move it at 60 per minute. So, it's going to have to be Mark II belts is the next stop. So for that we need a depressingly large stack of stuff, as usual. Let's get whatever plates we've got left. We're out of rods, so we just need to get some wire, cable those in, and we'll have that production up and running. Yeah, Nobelisk. Or Nobelisk? I don't know. Nobelisk? I never know how to pronounce it. I mean, it's clearly named after Sir Alfred Nobel, but... What did the Manta ever do to you? You and my youngest have a lot in common. Alright, let's get this plumbed in. So take cable from there. Run across to what? Oh, now you want rods. There's always something. Well, yeah, I mean, there's... Okay, fair enough. Oh, come on. Isn't it just? Yeah, I can only... Unfortunately, I can only have decaf. But it's a hard habit to break. Oof. Well, it was a nice, well, it was a nice brisk morning this morning, but it rained pretty much all afternoon. God, how British is that, talking about the weather? Okay, we've got rods and plates being made. Let's up the concrete infrastructure. So what, originally hailing from over here, or? I should have paid more attention in history at school. What was the £10 scheme? I thought we were trying to get people to come and live here to, you know, refill the country after the war. I really should have paid attention in history. Got no fuel for it. Ah. So it was an Australian initiative rather than a British initiative. One of these days I'll get those commands right the first time. But, like Aragorn before me, it is not this day. Ooh, have I lined those up right? Let's get a bit more space in there. In fact, let's put the splitter down first. Because of course it won't connect. There we go. And we're good. Oh, and a bin to put it in. Right, so let's stick a ramp on the end of here so I can get up this end as well. Let's see how the plates and rods are getting on. Oh, because I forgot to put containers out for them, so the machinery should be pretty full. So let's grab a couple of them. Right, let's go and see how much of that milestone we can fill in now. So, concrete and reinforced plates. Okay. Actually, let's do the show right here. Saves all the running back and forth. Oh hey, while I've got the craft bench open, do you know about the spacebar trick? Yeah, in the craft bench, you can either use the mouse button to hold the button down, or you can just tap spacebar once and it'll keep going until it runs out of ingredients. There's a thread every other week on the Reddit saying, I was today years old when I learnt this. Very useful when you've got a big stack of stuff, especially in the early game. You know, I've got 200 odd ore here I can make into ingots. I can just hit spacebar and go make myself some coffee. But I can't, of course, because I'm on a stream. Yeah, in the Midlands. West Midlands. Yeah? I'm trying to think if I recognise the name. No, I don't. I don't think I've heard of you. What sort of genre do you write in? Sorry, I'm getting heckled from the other side of the room again. Fair enough. Much of a readership outside Australia, or? Nice. You found them on Amazon, did you? Yeah, she's looking you up on Amazon. am I doing? Oh, I know what I'm doing. Taking that to pieces. Checking how much concrete I've got. And hopefully getting Mark II belts. Yeah, that's on my list to go and look for in a minute. It is such a time saver. Okay, some of that. Mark II belts, thank you very much.
Milestone reached. Improved versions of conveyor belts and conveyor lifts are now accessible. To encourage additional verticality, conveyor poles now have a stackable variant.
Alright, and we need that one to upgrade as well. We run out of plates. Actually, that's what it is to just put it straight in the smelters. Yeah, sounds about right. Same as ours. Right, update that one to Mark II. We should get everything running fully. Let's Gotta do something about that clipping, I think, but in a minute. What's next? Field research, so we can go looking for stuff. 300, 100, okay. Okay, that's going to get Chaos hiding behind the sofa. Two and a half minutes till it comes back. Okay. What should we do? I suppose I better start thinking about where I'm going to put the space elevator. Let's have a look up here. Flat patch, not big enough. Oh, now that's more like it. Limestone, but it's only normal. Okay. Do a bit of clearance. Wait, did I see? Ah, there's a trash site. Excellent. Where are you? There you are. Hold still, you. Weird. Never ragdolled one like that before. Well, these days with the advanced game settings on Update 8, you don't need to give up your jetpack. You can enable fly mode. Which is the bit you... Oh, there it is. Needs 30 megawatts. Bit of that. One of those. A little bit of that. And hey presto, there you
Data
go.
on the hard drive has been salvaged and can be repurposed to unlock an alternate recipe. Salvaging more hard drives will provide additional alternate recipes.
Circuit boards. Modular frames. Oh, right. Yeah, and when you go into new game, when you're choosing your starting zone, there's a checkbox, or a button down at the bottom of the screen saying Advanced Game Settings. If you go into that, it should show you... Tell me, are you a fan of a YouTube series called Let's Game It Out? Yep. The broken ankles and the blowing up anything that moves. It's kind of a giveaway. Yeah, I like him in small doses. Chaos likes to watch him back to back, which can be a bit much for me, but he's all right. He does make me wince sometimes. Yes, I'm old, dear. I know. All right, 5, 6, 7. 4. Oh, come on. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Not quite enough. Yep. Well, we do all our streaming on the one rig, but I think we've got a laptop each, more or less at this stage, of varying degrees of antiquity. Oh, on the subject of still gaming, are you into Baldur's Gate at all?
The map has been unlocked. Milestone reached. The molecular analysis machine, referred to as the MAM, will allow R&D to provide new technologies, items, and buildings based on samples collected in the field. To ensure a greater chance of success during exploration, an upgraded tool belt has been provided, as well as an object scanner and beacons. Note: the object scanner requires calibration via the MAM to enable detection of specific objects.
Okay. It's just our plan is for each of us to stream a couple of times a week, and my other series I think is going to be playing Baldur's Gate 1. So teaching these young whippersnappers with their amazing graphics and wonderful gameplay and stuff, where it all began back in 1998. So I forget what night. Which is my other night, hun? Fridays. Okay, so yeah, probably 7 till 10 on a Friday I'll be playing Baldur's Gate 1. Graphics won't be anywhere near as stunning as this, but... Right, we've got berries, we can research that. And then let's kick off the hard drive. Nice. I came in at Diablo 2, I think. Played quite a lot of 2, quite a lot of 3. Avoided 4 like the plague. Let's queue up the space elevator, see what we need to get for that. 500 concrete, we could be here a while. Oh, what's the point? Let's make some more plates so I can speed up concrete production. Ah, those were the days. We had, what was it? No, I was more into Warcraft, World of Warcraft LAN parties. A couple of friends of mine used to live near me but moved up to Scotland, and I went up a couple of times, spent the weekend, and we just played an awful lot of Warcraft. Nerds that we were. Hell, still are. Right, that's amped up concrete. But we're less than halfway. Let's get the wire. Yeah, no, well, okay, I don't know the divorced part, but else than that. What do we got? Okay, I'm going to cheat just a little bit. Because I may or may not have looked up locations for a few of those crash sites. So let's go on and explore while the rest of the concrete manufactures. Grab that. Actually, I love how atmospheric this game gets. The sun's going down, it's getting a bit misty. Could be anything out here. On 7, I've actually got a save game that's making the final 4 components. All the factories are set up and running, and it's just a matter of time as to how long it takes for it to get everything up the space elevator. And then I just need to save up the however many tickets it is for the golden coffee mug. Unfortunately, I'm now playing on update 8, and that's broken all the mods, so I'd have to go back and do an awful lot of work to replace all the pipe joints and stuff. Unauthorized hostility yet. Pretty sure. Oops. Get out. Okay, time for a tactical what's name. Let's try that again. Whoa, I don't think I've ever seen one with speed lines on them before. Okay.
This semi-slug seems to emit unfamiliar energy readings which could potentially be retrofitted into fix-it technology. A new research tree can now be accessed in the MAM.
There's more geothermal down here. That's something to remember for later. Much later. There we go. Was that it? No. Okay, hang on. Let's go in here. Where are we? Advanced game. Oh, okay, that appears on my menu because I set it up in the initial game setup. But it should be under here. Flight mode. Okay, if you hadn't set advanced game settings initially... Oh god, how do you do it to an existing save? Hang on, let's save this. And load in. Ah, there we go. Load game. Enable advanced game settings. So if I click that, I should now be able to access that in that save. Although that's my update 7 save that I'm waiting till the mods aren't broken anymore before going back into it. With a mere, 736 hours on it. I'm waiting till the mods come back. Where am I? Okay. Here we go. Some of those, thank you. Hang on, there's somebody. Whoop, what was that? Oh great, it's one of those. Yeah. 2 right. Now, what do we need for this? 3 rotors. Oh god, can I even make rotors yet? When you loaded the... Did you see what was showing? There's a checkbox down here in the bottom right. Was that there on yours? Signs you are a parent, number 463. It wants rotors. I can't make rotors. Where are we? North is that way. Excellent. There we go. Okay, so when you go into the load game screen, pick your saved game And then down in the bottom right hand corner there's a checkbox saying Enable Advanced Game Settings. You're welcome. And you should be able to enable flight mode under gameplay in there. Actually, I thought I had flight mode ticked for this one. Hang on. I do. Okay. Double tap space to deactivate flight. Okay. There we go. And just be cautious when you switch it off again, because otherwise we're back in Josh territory and ow my ankles. What do we got? Didn't get cast screws. Dag nabbit. Did get iron wire though, that's useful. Also got power slug, so we can research that. We need another one in order to do overclocking. What was I after? Rotors. There we go, rotors. So, some of that, some of that, some of that, some of that. A bit more of that. I don't know, that happens sometimes. Essentially you just have to stab yourself until you explode and turn into a chest, and then you can just reclaim your kit. You should have a Xeno Zapper on you. It's how you would have wanted to go. Okay, that's 200 cable. Stick it in the box. Send that off.
Milestone reached.
Right, where
More
are we?
complex assembly of
Rotors.
parts can now be automated.
Another
Project
75
assembly parts
screws.
can now be constructed and sent up via the space elevator. Note: project parts are too complex to produce by hand.
Right, we should just about have time to get the space elevator built and that hard drive recovered, and then I think we're going to have to wrap it up for the week. Let's just see how much wire we've got over here. Not enough. Of course we haven't. Okay, got the concrete sorted. Back over here to wherever it was I left that ramp. Oh, there we go. Let's have that one. Oh, crud. Okay, we're taking the long way around. I'm at full health, this is fine. You know, it occurs to me now I'm halfway back round the long way round. I could have just used flight mode to fly back up, but I'm trying to keep that just for doing panoramic shots of the base, so... Oh, there we go. There's the ground. Now, have these two respawned? No? Good. Oops, poison plants. Ah, handy lake. Yeah, I should ramp up the wire supply as well, but we'll save that for next session, I think. Huh, timed that pretty well. Okay, let's put this hard drive in and let it have a think. And go and put my next milestone up. Alright, jump pads, resource sink, got all tier 1. Let's have some of that. But I'm not going to use any of that just yet because it's been 3 hours, so I think we're going to call it a night at that point, and we will see you all hopefully next week. Well, I'll be here next week. Whether you are is down to you, really. Okay, it's been nice chatting to you, Angela. Hope to see you again. Okay, and we save. And we quit. And we're out.